Hello, my name is Juan Lane, and thank you for tuning in to this station, New Way to Live. Listen, we can't do it without your help. We need you to send your donations in today. This is how this station operates, and we're trying to do the very best for you and your family with the production that we have. We are really giving it our all, but we cannot continue it without your financial support. So please send your offerings in to P.O. Box 3615, Columbus, Georgia 3631903, in care of New Way to Live, and we'll make sure that we get it on so we can keep this great program going. If you and your family are enjoying it, we pray that you continue we pray that you send us a offering that we can continue it and do the very best for you. Also, make sure that you watch our public education program. This is a very special program where it can help you prepare for your next test. The public education program, right here on New Way to Live.
Welcome and peace. I want to thank you for joining me on our network, which is A New Way to Live. And I want to thank you specifically for joining me on my show. It's called Uncle Baki's Island, and I thank you so much for joining. I love to interact with you when I'm on the street and with the Final Call newspaper. I just love and I'm so honored by the questions that you give and ask of me. And of course, we only have the duration of a life. And I can't, so even though we get a lot talked about during that duration of a life, we only got the duration of a life. It's quite natural, we can't talk about it all. So I'm just so glad that you joined us today on our show. I want to say this week's show is brought to you on behalf of the Final Call newspaper, particularly page 28. So when you see me out on the street this week, I want you to let me know that you read page 28. And if you don't have this week's edition of the Final Call, then I want you to say, Brother Baki, I need the Final Call newspaper so that I can read page 28. So this show is brought to you on behalf of page 28 of this week's issue of the Final Call newspaper. But again, your questions and your comments is what actually prompted us to bring to you this show. Because you all give me so many insightful questions and comments, and we just can't take care of it all at a traffic light or at the times that we trade phone numbers. No, we can meet each other on a New Way to Live network, and specifically on this show. So I want to say something about today, and it just came to my heart to say this. And it just showed me even more why we need a show like this. And today, when I was out with the Final Call newspaper, I went to a young lady's car, and a beautiful young sister. And she had 3 little princesses, little girls in her back seat. And here's what got me. Because I'm always don't know, when I see this, I don't know what to say or what to do. But she had some music on that was nasty and filthy. And the music was bees this, bees, you know what I mean when I say bees. It's a word that starts with a B and it rhymes with witch. See, look, brothers and sisters and family, I'm from the streets of Detroit. I have engaged myself in plenty of trouble when I was in the world. So I'm not a stranger to dirty language and the dirty living. But here's what I did not like even when I was in the streets. I never put adult, my affairs and grown folk stuff in the ears of children. And so every time that I'm on the street and I see, look, my brothers and sisters, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings and I'm not pointing fingers at you, I'm talking to us. But when I see that type of thing, that we don't even have the sense, and forgive me, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but if you're offended by this, then you might have to look in the mirror. But when we don't have the sense to keep that kind of garbage language away from the children, it's hurt for me. No little girls need to hear that, but I had to get that off my chest. But that's one of the reasons why we have to bring this broadcast to you. And because we have, brothers and sisters, quite frankly, we need a new way to think. We need a new way to think. We're not thinking right. So we want you to watch a broadcast that is, and this network is on, this show is on, comes from you from a network, a TV network called A New Way to Live. So we want to bring you something that's clean and decent. Back in the days when we would watch BET, and it was called Black Entertainment Television. They had a variety of things that you could partake of on BET. But now when you watch, and I haven't watched in a while because it's not as good as it was back in the days, because it's just basically just, it's a lot of garbage. That's my opinion. But I want you to check out, and it's not even as entertaining as it used to be. That's my opinion. But I want you to check out something on our network. And guess what? I know that you'll be interested in drawn to it. How do I know that? It's because when I'm out on the streets, you all are drawn to me. And guess what? I'm drawn equally to you. So I know that it's not going to be something that you're going to say, nah, I ain't going to check that out. That's played out. That's lame. You ain't going to say that because of just the interactions that we had. So I know that's not going to be the case, but I want you to make sure that you check out our network, and specifically, I want you to check out my show. Now, this show is for you. The who of this show, it's all about you, brothers and sisters. It's all about you. That's what the who is. It's all about you, and it's all about you and I working together to make something happen. You drawn to me, and you know you are, because look at the questions you ask me. Every day I'm going to get some type of question, and the number one question I get is, I see you all the time. Why are you always out here? Why are you always out here with the Final Call newspaper, with that newspaper? What is this about? And that means that, yeah, you there's some insight. You want to know something. And then once I tell you, then we develop that relationship, and we go on from there. But the who of this is about you, okay? The what? Well, we got some, as I mentioned earlier, with the sister that had I listen, look, Cool G rap. That's an old school gangster rap. That happened to be one of my favorite rappers. But look, I have sense enough to know that when little children are in the back, then maybe I shouldn't play that. So I'm not pointing fingers at you, but I'm saying we got some issues, family. We got some, what we call some dysfunctions. And you might know them better just saying some issues. So that's what the what is. Now listen, do you know when you look in that mirror, do you know who we are? Most of you, I don't think you do. I don't think you know who you are. You know why? Because our behavior shows that we don't really know who we are. When you look in that mirror, what do you see? Now, when you all look at me, and when you all, I thank you for that praise that you all throw to me. Man, I get so much love out there from you. But how do you feel about yourself? What do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you give that love that you give to me to your own selves? And I think, and I'm going to be honest with you now, I think that most of the time you don't. To me now, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm trying to help you and I. But I think that most of the time, that love that you give to me, that praise that you throw at me, that respect that you show me, brothers and sisters, you frankly don't show it to yourselves. And that's what this program, and that's what this is all about. Because that what you give to me, I want you to give it to yourself. Start with you. So I appreciate that. You have to, and I said to you, we don't know who we are. When you look at that in that mirror, I want you to know something. You are the people who built the pyramids. The pyramids, those things that are in a part of the world where they call one of the great wonders of the world. You the people with that type of mindset. But you just don't think so high of yourself. And we got to change that. And guess what? We will change that. So that's what the what is of this program. The when, right now. I don't want you to wait any longer to bring out the greatness that's in you. You all give me, again, you give me so much praise. And I thank God for that, because it certainly isn't me. It certainly isn't me. It's what God has done for me. But listen now, the same thing that has been done for me can be done for you. And if we work together, it will be done for you. So I don't want you to wait. You know what we are as a people? Black people are some of the greatest procrastinators that the world has ever seen. You know what procrastination is? Procrastination means that there's something that you have to do, that you must do, that you should do, but guess what you do? You put it off. So it don't get done. You find a reason not to do it when it absolutely has to be done. But we the greatest at procrastinating. And again, I'm not trying to put us down, but we got to tell the truth. We are great procrastinators, and we got to get out of that, because you and I have got to get out of that fear of success. That's what it is. You imagine the people that are afraid to succeed, afraid of success. Instead of going the extra mile that it takes to success, what do? We shrink away, we procrastinate, and go back to our comfort zone. So that's what we have to stop doing. So that's the what, then that's the when. Right now. I want you to act right now. And it can be done. But it can't be done, you know, I want you to join us on this program, because we can't do it all at a traffic light. And even a phone call won't be sufficient. But if you join this program and you ride with us, then let's see where you'll be in a short period of time. Does that make sense? Okay, the where, I've mentioned it several times, the where is right here on the New Way to Live network. You just join us here, and that's where, okay? The why. Well, we mentioned the why as well too, but we'll go over it again, because the why of this program is because you are a great people. A great people with potential that is so great, but guess what? Your thinking is so small. And listen, again, it's just you and I. I'm not talking to you, as a matter of fact. I'm talking to the one sitting next to you. So don't take it personal. But our thinking is just so small. And we got to get out of that small time thinking. Now listen, I've seen, what I'm going to give to you, one thing, let me say, before we go any further, there's one thing, if there's one thing that you all know about me, it is that I might be one of the greatest examples of persistence, steadfast, and consistency. Because it doesn't matter what you say, many times, even if our conversation is not so great, even if it's a little hostile coming from you, guess what I tell you? You're going to bear witness to this too. I say, I'll see you tomorrow, and God bless you. And guess what? That's what happens. Yeah, I'll see you the next day, and that's fine. I'll get over the night, maybe you'll blow some of that steam off, but guess what? I'll see you tomorrow. And so it doesn't matter how we started off. There's been some of you, we didn't start off so great, but guess what? After you see me for a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years, 3, and you say, man, then you get the nerve to say, well, man, why are you always out there? And that same question comes up. And then we get to talking, and we see that we family, but it just started off in the wrong way. So I say that to say, this is why this great program, because we got to make some things happen. And we can, and we will, okay? Now, how? Here's how. There's an old saying that with God, and I'm just paraphrasing, all things are possible. And that's how. We're going to make some things happen. Again, I've seen it done. I'm participating in great things happening, and we're going to do something great in your life right here in Columbus, Georgia. We're going to build something so great, you can't even see the vision of where we're going. But we're going. We're going. So, family, I don't have much more to say to you, but I want you to understand, and I want you to know how much I love you. And I think I proved that by just being a consistent person that's out there on that corner on my island. I call that corner that you see me with, that's my island. But you have seen me on that island for 11 years, since I moved to this city. When I picked that particular part of the city as my workshop, I don't stop. The only day you don't see me out there is Sunday, and I'm at my service on Sunday. But other than that, as long as the weather's not too bad, and what I mean by bad is rain and cats and dogs. So as long, because your boy is from up north, so it ain't gonna get too cold in Columbus, Georgia. But as long as it's not raining cats and dogs, you're gonna see me out there, and I'm out there for you. So what I want you to do is to continue to watch our program, because we're gonna bring to you hot guests. When I say hot guests, guests that's gonna blow your mind with some of the things that we can do and that we will talk about. Because again, let me tell you something. If you want, there's an old saying that a man or a woman who does the same thing who does the same thing every day and expects something different to happen, that's a form of insanity. So come on now, family. Look, I'm not trying. You do the same thing. We do the same thing. Let's do something different. And just try it. What you got to do is stop being afraid. There's 2 feet that most of the time trip you up, and it trip you and I up, and it's our own 2 feet. So I say that to say, I want to give a couple of shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Sister Cassandra, and I thank you. I told her about what we're doing, and she said she's ready to support it. I want to give a shout out to Sister Monique and Sister Jill. I'm looking for y'all support. I want to give a shout out to Brother Joseph, Brother Ricky, and Brother Henry. I'm looking for y'all support. And those of you who are watching, we're looking for your support to support something good that's going to help us. So, and if I didn't mention your name, then check this out. Keep watching, and your name will come up too. So I want to say to you all, I thank you, love you, stay strong, think big, and let's make something happen. So peace, and have a winning day. Peace and welcome. Listen, I thank you for joining us on our New Way to Live network, and I thank you for joining us on my show, Uncle Baki's Island. But listen, that show, in order to produce this, it costs money. So I'm asking you, because when I'm out there on the street and I'm dealing with you, and you're so gracious and so beautiful, and you're always so willing to give, but I don't take that lightly, and I don't ask for support of anything unless it's of a worthy cause. And most of you, I've never asked for anything of support. But I'm asking you to support this network, and specifically my show. So I want you to send your donations, and any donation, none is too small, and absolutely none is too big. But send your donations and write your checks and money orders out to Uncle Baki's Island, and send your donations to 2324 Francis Street, 2324 Francis Street, Suite 105A, Columbus, Georgia, 31906. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can call me at 706-464-1940. And again, I thank you for your support. Peace to you, and have a winning day.